I would like to call the meeting to order. May I have a motion to excuse Board President Mr. Brad Beach from the meeting due to personal reason? May I have motion and second, please?
So moved?
You and your second?
All in favor say yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so the motion passed 6, let me see, 2, 4, 6 to 0 and 1 absent, right? Okay, so 601. Daniel, please. Now, next, please, Daniel, roll call.
President Mr. Beach? No, absent. Vice President Mrs. Say?
Present?
Clerk Mr. Nishi?
Present.
Board Member Dr. Eugenio?
Here.
Board Member Dr. Rios?
Present.
Board Member Mrs. Yu?
Here.
Board Member Mr. Noriola?
Here.
Thank you.
Okay, this evening, we will be discussing the following item in closed section: public employee discipline, dismissal, release, evaluation, one matter, conference with labor negotiator, update on negotiations with ABCFT, AFSCME, and CSEA, public employee appointment, interim principal, Nixon Elementary School, conference with real property negotiator, public facility joint use agreement. We also have the last one is existing litigation, special education settlement agreement, OAH number 2023060369, and special education settlement agreement, OH number 2023030107. Clerk Nishi, do we have any public comment for closed section items?
I don't see any.
Now move to the closed section. May I have a motion and second?
So moves.
Second?
Okay, the motion, all in favor and say yes.
Aye.
Motion passes 6-0. Since all the important people here, let's start tonight's meeting. Now our board is back to open session. May I have a motion and second? Thank you. All in favor, please say yes.
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Now motion passes 6-0. And I also want to remind the audience here, please silence your cell phone. Reminds myself too. I think I did it. You have to forgive my after cold voices here very low. I'm trying to talk as louder as I can. So if you're not able to hear from me, I want to apologize. I'm trying to raise my voice as much as I can. But I'm not contagious. Want to let you know again. I also have a mask. If I start coughing, because the air condition really irritates my throat. Now, tonight in closed session, board discussed public employee discipline, dismissal, release, evaluation, one matter, conference with labor negotiator, update on negotiations with ABCFT, AFSCME, and CSEA, public employee appointment, interim principal, Nixon Elementary School, conference with real property negotiator, public facility joint use agreement. The last two is in closed section. The board discussed and approved a special education settlement agreement in amount of $4,500 for attorney's fee for OAH number 2023060369 by a vote of 6-0. Also in closed section, the board discussed and approved a special education settlement agreement in the amount of $72,000 for private school expenses, parent mileage, and adapt physical education service in the amount of $10,000 and attorney fees amount of $13,000 for OAH number 20230300107 by vote of 620. Now may I have the honor to have our newly appointed trustee 7, Mr. Noyola, leading us tonight's Pledge of Allegiance.
Okay.
Go ahead. Board member.
Everybody can please stand and face the flag. Put your right hand over your heart. Ready? Begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Thank you, board member, for your leading us tonight. Next one, board president appoint board members of the following committee as the city's liaison, which is directly appointed to you, board member, Mr. Noyola. The Finance and Audit Board Advisory Committee, City of Hawaiian Garden liaison. The last one, the Head Start Board liaison. The staff will contact you for your further meeting schedule. Thank you. The next one, I do know we have some few very important honor guests here. Do we have? I know we were told one is definitely Stephanie Hugh. Are you here, Stephanie? Oh, come. And it's representative for Congresswoman Michelle Steele. It is really very honored to have you here tonight. We also have Marisa Perez. Is she here? I believe she should be here because she must be busy and, there's some traffic from her work. And she's from Syracuse College trustee. Then we have one more, which is Andrea Wittig. Are you here? Oh, good. I do want to know, congratulations, and she's Syracuse College Manager, Office of President, Trustee Services and Strategy Initiative. I also want to mention you were January 2023 is the Employee of the Month or Employee of the Year? Employee of the Month. And I saw you also have a state champion for women's, I wrote it down, I left my paper home. Woman wrestling, so we have to be careful, but we also have definitely be protected here. Thank you and welcome. Do we have any honorable guests here not being mentioned in here? Please stand out. I definitely will be announced and welcome you. Right? Okay. But we also have very important, the principal from everywhere.
Administrators.
Yeah, and that's what I say. We have also administrators from all the school there. Thank you very much for staying here with us. And so at this time, I think we're going to have a 20 minutes recess to host a public reception to recognize Mr. Francisco Noyola as a newly appointed board member to Trustee Area 7. I know you have family member probably here too. So let's have our recess. Yeah. Would you like to introduce them here first before we go to recess? Yeah, of course.
Oh,
You're like,
Big
everyone?
family.
yeah, I would just want to thank everybody who's here. I see in the crowd my mom, most importantly. She's right there.
Yeah.
She wants to stand up.
Yeah, stand up so we recognize you.
Next to her is my grandma.
Wow.
Yeah. Behind them is my aunt and uncle, my uncle Abel and my aunt Suhei.
Wow.
And next to them is my little brother, Diego Noyola.
Gabriel?
Diego.
Oh, wow, okay.
Yeah,
Good.
I'm glad they were all a major part of, my upbringing, and I have a lot of instilled my values based upon, things they taught me throughout my life. So,
Wow.
including my little brother. So,
Wow. Let me give you a salute to you
so
folks.
thank you guys all for coming. I appreciate it. And
Yeah.
thank you guys to everyone else who came. I hope to continue working with you guys, and, I'm doing my best and bringing the best out of everyone here. Thank you.
I also noticed your area at Tisha High School, entire staff is here to celebrate you here.
Yes.
Yeah, they
Thank
welcome
guys.
you.
Principal.
And Hawaii Elementary School's staff principal also here to supporting you. What a difference in there. Wow. And once again, the entire board here, I welcome you, and including our administrator too. Welcome you, and anytime you have any question, we're open for you. Okay, so let's go to our recess. So for 20 minutes, we'll be back in here at 7:30. Okay? Go ahead, let's take a break. They take a recess, not break. administrators and our board colleague and our honored guests, would you please back to the meeting? Tuan, are you there? Oh, call the people's name. What else we have? Tuan, Mr. Lewin. May I have the approved agenda?
Oh.
Are you ready? Are you ready for okay. May I have motion to approve the agenda for the regular meeting of August 1st, 2023?
So moved?
Daniel, second.
Okay. All in favor, please say yes.
Aye.
I'm going to abstain because I wasn't present at that.
That's for today.
Oh, for today, sorry. Aye.
Today's agenda, yeah. So you're.
Aye, yes.
Okay, yeah, thank you. So the motion passed 6-0. May I have a motion to approve the minutes of the regular meeting of June 20, 2023?
Motion approved, Daniel.
Second, Sue.
All in favor, please say aye.
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 Abstain.
Okay, so we will have 5, 0, and 1. Okay. Approve minute, may I have a motion to approve the minutes of special meeting of July 1st, 2023?
Motion approved, Daniel.
Second, Sue.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Abstain.
So motion passed 5-0-1. Okay. Now it's my turn to report. Well, thank you all for staying here with us. You are all important to us. Now it's my turn to do a president report. But I'm not president, it's a vice president report. We hope our students, family, teacher, and staff had a great summer and welcome back. Thank you for, I hope you had all enjoyed a good summer and welcome back. Over the summer, I had the opportunity to attend the summer graduation. I am reminded that everyone grows differently. Some grow tall, some short, like me, staying short and this side. Some students graduate early and some later. But they graduated. And I'm very proud of all the summer graduates. Congratulations to those students and the family. During the summertime, I attended the funeral and celebration of life for former ABCUSD student and community leader Jimmy Kim. I thought I knew him before the ceremony, but I learned so much about this amazing man. He was who always put other before himself, and I also heard the wife testimony. And he will be missed. I had a moment to talk with his father, Grandmaster Kim, to share my condolence. And as I mentioned, I'm from ABC USD. And please keep Jimmy's family in your thoughts and prayers. Today, I was proud to donate item to students. I donated a new skateboard, helmet, and shoes to a student who recently had some issue and back to school. So this is I just donated to our director, Dr. Lewis, so he can give to the students. A little late, and I should have put it before that, but it was so many things happened. My life I had a lot of issue in ER and oral surgery, but everything's great, so I hope the student will be enjoying that. I also donate some prom dresses to Artesia High School for students who may not able to afford one this year, and I also encourage our community, including my board colleague, to keep our students in mind and to donate to a school with the ABC Education Foundation for those kids may need it. Special thanks to Artesia High School Principal, Mr. Garcia, I know you in the back, who showed me around the campus. I love the gray and red color in your school. And I love the welding class student made those art, very artistic sculpture in your school area. I love it. I go one area to another area, really highlight your school, and so beautiful. I want to thank you to the students who made it. I also was shown the future certified nurses 8 classroom that was looking forward to. I told Principal Garcia, said, hey, I'm willing to help. I have a license. If you need help, I volunteer for that. This true program that we are providing to the area definitely will attract more students to attending our district. I want to thank you, Principal Garcia, and your staff hard work, and I want to appreciate it, really. And you always have your group in here. Finally, I'm looking forward to tomorrow's new teacher orientation. I'm excited to meet our new group of educators, and I hope my board colleagues can join with me tomorrow. And that will be in the morning, 8 o'clock. And some of you folks may have the invitation already on your table. Just want to remind you, can just be there half hour, welcome them. Okay? So thank you. This is my report for this evening. Now, next, our superintendent report.
Thank you. It's been a busy couple of set of weeks for me. But back in June, after our last meeting, I was able to present at the California Labor Management Institute with Dr. Castro as well as Mr. Gare and Ms. Golden, really helping other districts understand working together, keeping your focus on student learning and how we can better support students and staff as that learning takes place by working together. June 23rd, I had a meeting with other area superintendents. June 26th, I attended the state convening for the Prop 28 Arts Education funding. A lot of great opportunity coming to all schools in the state of California with the Prop 28 funds. They are directly intended to add to and supplement the arts education programs we already have, and it's ongoing funding. And so there will be a lot of great things happening in our schools starting in the fall. Many of our schools will have new staff and new opportunities for arts education with our students. June 27th, we hosted an end-of-the-year barbecue here for district staff just to thank them for the hard work this year. And June 29th, participated in a state superintendent's meeting virtually, as well as that afternoon had my lunch at the ABC Adult School for their 4th of July celebration with their CCAE student group for their barbecue. We had our special board meeting where we now have a new board member, thankful for that. And July 3rd, I attended services for Miss Anna Marty, who is a retiree. She was an ABC employee for many years, most recently at Tracy High School. I had a meeting with the City of Cerritos July 6th, a meeting with the City of Hawaiian Gardens on July 17th. I was able to attend the School Capacity and Declining Enrollment Committee meeting on July 19th. And then July 20th, I participated in a virtual conference on school finance, really looking at the key issues happening with the finalization of the budget for this year, the funding that is being kept back, funding that changed places, and then, of course, the multitude of reports that we in public education keep and provide so that there's accountability for our funds. July 23rd, I also was able to attend the services for Jimmy Kim, and I think just the realities of him being a Cerritos High School alum who had his background in wrestling and football and becoming a Taekwondo gold medalist is pretty interesting and amazing. It was a great story. And then my last meeting before we got here was with the City of Artesia on July 27th. So I've been busy trying to meet with everyone and continue to work on making sure we're moving in a good direction as a district.
Thank you, Dr. Thank you, Dr. Zeno. I also want to interrupting one thing. We do have a special honor guest that just arrived, which is our College Board Trustee, Ms. Marisa Perez. Thank you for coming tonight. Thank you. Next one is our employee representative report. I know our ABCFT president is here. Do you have anything to report? Okay. Welcome back. Okay. Next one is our public comment. Clerk Nishi, do we have any public comments?
I'll read this real quick.
Thank you,
Persons
sir.
wishing to address the board should fill out a card located at the table by the door and place it in the silver tin that you see over there. Speakers will be called in sequence during the public comments section, which is limited to 1 hour, and each speaker to one presentation of 5 minutes, unless the board wishes to waive the time limit. Those who have a group concern are encouraged to select a spokesperson to address the board. Persons wishing to address the board on a specific agenda item at the time the item is under discussion are limited to 5 minutes each and will be called to speak following the staff comments and prior to the board's discussion and taking action. Adverse remarks about a person's race, ancestry, ethnic group identification, religion, color, national origin, sex, sexual orientation, gender, mental or physical disability, or age may not be made. Please avoid remarks or charges which reflect upon the character, motives, qualifications, or ability of any school district employee. Concerns presented to the board will be followed up and addressed by the appropriate staff. We have one public comment. It is Eddie Salcido.
Thank you, Mr. Nishi.
Some of you are probably all well aware that there have been ongoing discussions between my wife and myself and the district. Now, the legal department's involved. It's escalated just a little bit, so I wanted to make a few comments tonight. And just for the record, my daughter is no longer in the ABC school district. My youngest one is, but because of some of the issues that we have, we are withdrawing our daughter from the ABC school. So it's another issue that ABC has, is declining enrollment. We're here tonight to call attention to a discussion that we started with the cabinet, including Dr. Zitlo and Dr. Castro. And in short, we've covered the following. The district has admittedly not followed its own Whitney policy for the mission of the 23-24 Whitney High School 7th grade class. In doing so, the district has grossly compromised its commitment to a fair and equitable experience to all students this year and years past. At the detriment of its own students, the district application of the admissions process policy benefit Whitney High School, and by extension the district, to maintain the rankings and reputation of Whitney High School as one of the top schools in the state and the nation. On July 28th, in response to us, Dr. Castro wrote, the district is permitted to establish application and selection criteria, Education Code Section 48356. True, right? So thus, the district is granted authority under the Education Code to set the criteria and admission process. True. This was never disputed. Which the district has on 2/1/2000, the district has approved BP 5118.3A. What the California Education Code does not allow is for the district to make up its own interpretation of the written and board-approved code as it sees fit best to benefit its own interest. To be clear, this is BP 51183A, and it specifically outlines how students are admitted into Whitney High School. For years, the district has knowingly, willingly, and possibly illegally administered the admissions policy. There are two different resources for parents to find out how to get into Whitney. One is they can go to the district school, or the district site. Two is they can go to Whitney's site. Curiously, since we brought this issue, the district and Whitney High School has taken down the admissions page from Whitney High School's official website. I have a copy of it. We have a screenshot of it. We've sent it to the district. But in that page, it clearly articulates how the spots are allocated. And in case you're not familiar with it, you can read it. It's very, very clear. It's very clear that there is a certain number of students that can come from each geographic area. It's not based on elementary school. It's based on geographic area. But it is based on elementary school and the fact of the attendance that each school has. So if you read the policy, each geographic feeder middle school is capped. For example, Ross is capped at 31. Tessoff is capped at 32. Carmelita is capped at 32. Haskell is capped at 29. Fetty is capped at 28. This is based on the population of their 6th grade class, which was provided by the district. However, Ross, of the 31 allocated spots, 18 spots were given to Ross. Tessoff, of 32, 45 spots were given to them. Carmelita, of 32 allocated spots, 51 spots were given. Haskell, 29 allocated, 24 were given. Fetty, 28 were given, 18 were given. Okay? 18 spots out of 28. 51 spots out of 32. I'm not making the math up. I'm not making the numbers up. They've acknowledged as much. These are the numbers. 27 kids came from Leo. 2 came from Willow. Willow has a 78% Hispanic population, 2 kids. Okay? The district has 48% Hispanic population. Thank you. Has 48% population, 16% at Whitney High School, 61% Asian. I'm not saying the policy is racist, but certainly there's some sort of discrimination going on in here. And just as Dr. Rios had to sue the school board back to change the policy about creating the trustee areas, perhaps now is the time that the school board needs to be sued again, the district. I know your lawyer is involved, our lawyers are involved, the numbers are here. It is impossible to read this district policy and say that 59% of the 7th grade class are coming from 2 feeder middle schools. 51 kids out of 32 are coming from 1 feeder school, Carmelita. There is no way to read this policy and think that that is fair and equitable to all of our kids. Absolutely impossible. They know it, you know it, your lawyers know it. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Saucedo, for came forward, and I believe our staff and our superintendent is working with the lawyer now. I appreciate you came forward to share your personal experience. Thank you. Do we have any, Clerk Nishii, pub comment?
That's the last one.
Okay, thank you. May I have a motion to approve this consent calendar?
Motion approved, Eugenio.
Seconded.
Second, okay. Is anyone who wishes to remove any item to be considered separately? If none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
The motion passed 6-0. Now we're down to the action item. If, may I have a motion to approve request to contract with the Family Health Care Centers of Greater Los Angeles Incorporation to provide preventive, educational, and primary health care services for the 2023 to 2025 school years.
Motion approved, Eugenio.
Second.
Mr. Nguyen.
Thank you, Vice President. Thank you, Vice President Say. Good evening. We excited to bring this agreement or MOU forward to the board for consideration. If you recall, the service provider that we had there was, I think, JWCH Wesley Health. We had an agreement with them for about 5 years, but for the past year, we did not have a provider there. We were in search of a new provider. We work closely with other providers like Kaiser's and the County of Los Angeles, and this group here was highly recommended to us, the Family Health Care Centers of Greater Los Angeles, to be the provider for our community and our students in that area. Everything is free to the families, to the parents, and also there's no cost to the district. So the provider, through grants and through reimbursement from the state and the federal government, will bear all costs relating to the operating of this program. And the scope of their work, well, they will provide family practice, women's health, primary pediatric care, vaccines, preventive, educational, and informational health service for students, family, and other members of the public. So this is a concept of community school where we want to provide a wraparound service to all our students and families in certain areas. So we are looking forward. We have good conversations with the agency, and should the board approve this tonight, then we're looking forward to start providing the services to our students as soon as tomorrow. So that's the item before you tonight.
Thank you, Mr. Nguyen. Do we have any public comment, Clerk Nishii, for this matter?
I don't see any public comments.
Okay, now I'm going to end discussion. I have a first one is Board Member Dr. Rios.
Thank you. I just wanted to say how excited I am to see this. We know that the community schools concept is one that is very welcomed in our community, such as, I'm going to speak for Hawaiian Gardens because I grew up there and I know I have family there. We know that access to healthcare should be universal right, but here it's not. And so these community schools and these kind of services provide sometimes even life-saving opportunity for people to access healthcare, and so I'm very happy to see this on our agenda.
Thank you, Dr. Rios. Next one will be our Board Member, Ms. Yu.
Thank you, Vice President Say. So this health care is provided for the family of those who are not insured, or?
Yeah. So it's basically all residents, students, family members, and community members within ABC.
I see. So is it mainly for those who don't have the insurance, or just anybody?
Anybody.
Anybody?
Yes, that is
Oh,
correct.
Very good. Yeah.
Okay. And does it include primary, including eye, dental, or just primary health care?
It's all whatever service that they have. They have health, mostly focus on that, but at times they would have specialists come in to do eye exam for students. We have all those programs. Dental, we have partnership with UCLA where they can come in and do dental check for students also.
Wow.
So, yes.
Okay, thank you. Lastly, Who is the director of this center?
Oh, I can get the names for you.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
But they have offices in Downey, Commerce, Bell Gardens, and I think they have one already down Hawaiian Gardens. Oh, two, yeah. So, two in Bell Gardens, I was told. So they have about 6 offices throughout. So,
Thank you.
Thank you. Next, board member, Mr. Noyola.
I just wanted to also echo what Dr. Rio said. Having this in Hawaiian Gardens has been so helpful for so many families. I personally know of kids getting all their vaccinations there, so I'm just grateful to see this partnership, and thank you.
Thank you for speaking out. Next one is our board clerk, Mr. Nishii.
So really quick, so this is great to have a program like this, and it's free, so that's kind of really good. Is this how many years is the funding for this?
so right now the agreement is for, I believe, it's for 3 years. So, and depends on how it goes. We want to keep, hopefully we will bring back another renewal to the board. If not, then, we will look for other grants and provider. But the way that in talking to them, and the project director, Miss Yu, is Miss Raquel Villa, Villoa. So she, they have a good track records at other locations that they believe that would, and a lot of it is depend on state and federal reimbursement funding also. They believe that this could be a long-term ongoing. And as you also aware, the state of California, Governor Newsom's push, and there's a lot of grants for community schools concept. So we are looking into applying for those also to enhance the service that we are providing to community members, students in the Hawaiian areas, but also in ABC.
So this is federally funded. It's most of the federally funded, or half?
It's half and half.
Half
Half
and
state,
half.
half federal.
So half
Yeah.
state and half federal, and it comes with
Correct.
federal discretion or specific rules.
Yes.
All right, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. Since we all share our comments already, now we go down to vote. All those in favor, please say yes.
Aye.
Okay, and then we have 6-0. May I have a motion to approve request to submit an accounting program pathway name change from accounting clerk to accounting technician, effective date starting on August 1st, 2023, to the Council on Occupational Education, COE.
Eugenio, second.
Okay, do you have any public comment, Clerk Nishii?
I don't see any.
Okay, now back to the table. Any discussion here? I see none. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Motion passed 6-0. I have a motion to approve request to adopt the Mandarin Chinese textbook titled Better Immersion to Begin, used in the 2023 to 2024 school year. I
So
need a
moved.
motion and second.
Motion.
Second.
Okay, you got it, Danielle? Okay. So, Dr. Castro, please, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much. This textbook adoption is reflecting of our implementation of the dual immersion in Mandarin pathway at Stowers Elementary School. The teachers that are going to be part of this dual immersion pathway were part of the selection process in this. And so we are excited that we will be adopting this book and prepared for the school year and have our first kindergarten class begin this fall.
Thank you, Dr. Castro. Clerk Nishii, do we have any public comment on this matter?
I don't see any.
Back to the table, any discussion from my board colleague here? If none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
The motion passed 6-0. May I have a motion to approve request to contract with the Novak Educational Consulting to provide up to 6 sessions on the introduction to universal design for learning, implementation of UDL, a multi-tiered system of support, which is MTSS, through lesson design and instruction for our secondary teachers at the Summer Professional Learning Institute on August 8 to 9 on 2023.
Motion. Eugenio, second.
Thank you. Dr. Castro.
Thank you. We're working with this educational consulting group to provide training for our teachers on August 8th and 9th, as you have all received invitations to also attend our training, as we have some opening speakers. Notably, one of them is our own Dr. Zietlow. on August 9th, so we invite you to participate in that. But there'll be a series of sessions, and this reflects some of the sessions that are available to teachers. As you know, with the learning recovery after the pandemic, we're really working to strengthen our multi-tiered system of support and ensure that students receive the instruction that they need at the time that they need it.
Thank you. Can you remind us, the keynote speaker, Dr. Zila, what time he will be there? She'll be there to do the presentation
8 a.m. on
8 a.m.
August 9th.
and the place?
Artesia High School.
Thank you. Any public comment?
I don't see any.
Okay, back to the board. I do have one, which is our board member, Dr. Rios. Go ahead.
No, today's going to be me. I know about MTSS, and so I would just be, I unfortunately can't attend. I would love to, these 2 sessions, but they're my back-to-school days. But I would love for the district to come back to the board and give us a synopsis of what that's going to look like, action-wise, in our schools, if possible, please.
Thank you, Dr. Rios. I believe Dr. Zeno would not mind. Okay, do we have any other? If none, I'm asking all those in favor, please say yes. Aye.
Aye.
The motion passed 6-0. May I have a motion to approve request to contract with the Rocket Lit to provide in-person professional learning on the Inner Orbit platform for approximately 70 secondary science teachers for the 2023 to 2026 school years.
Motion. You on your second?
Dr. Castro?
Yes, we're working with this group in order to make sure that we're providing assessment practice to our students. It's important that across the board we have common assessments. In science, as you know, our students take the California Assessment Science Test, and it's an area we definitely want to see some improvements. And helping students have an experience that's similar to the CAS test with similar question types, and giving teachers at the same time the flexibility to choose the questions as appropriate to their pacing guide will be helpful in that process. And this company is going to not only work with us in providing licenses to our teachers, but also providing professional learning on best practices to look at those common assessments.
Thank you, Dr. Castro. Clerk Nishi, do we have any public comments?
I don't see any.
Thank you, our board. Okay, I do have one. Board Clerk, Mr. Nishi.
Hi. So this looks like a great program. Are we planning to do this on a regular annual basis, or what is the general plan? And how are we going to measure success?
Yeah, so because these will help inform our interim benchmark assessments, that's part of how we'll measure success, is looking at our interim benchmark assessments as well as our CAST assessment. And this is for a 3-year plan. This is not, the approval is not for 3 years, but we are planning, if we see growth, to continue using these common assessments for the next 3 years so that we can really see some expanded growth and then possibly expand that to elementary down the road. But we're starting small first to see how this supports our schools and then expand from there.
So the first year is one program, and the second year will be a different program, or?
No, it's the same program, but it just depends on how our performance assessments continue. Because as you know, we reevaluate every year based on if the services were provided, based on our own assessments, and based on the customizing of the program for our teachers, and also our teacher feedback.
So we're hoping, so we'll have a baseline this year, and then we'll have hopefully improvement the following. Are we expecting improvement the following year?
Well, you know, there's several factors that contribute, but we are hoping to see some improvement by the following year, yes.
Oh, well, this is not a lot of money, so, and this is a continuing fund, so it's not. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Board Clerk Nishi. So seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
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 The motion passes 6-0. Next one, may I have a motion to approve request to adopt the following textbook titled Simplemente Mariachi, Guitar Ammonia, Villa Villa and Online Audio, and Hell Leonard Guitar Method, Second Edition, and Foundation for Superior Performance, Warming Up and Technique for Ben, excuse me. For the motion, for the visual and performing arts courses at Artesia High School to begin use in the 2023 to 2024 school year. May I have a motion and second here?
So moved. Second.
Thank you. I know you're so nice and kind to me. Any public comments?
I don't see any.
Any discussion from my board here?
Yay.
See none? I love that.
We'll look forward to seeing mariachi performances in our district. That's
Oh,
exciting.
great. You know, I'm learning to say those language now. I really want to learn Spanish for this coming year. So I have a motion and second. We also have discussion. The motion, now I need to say, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
6-0. My motion to approve request to adopt the following textbook titled Medical Assisting Administrative and Clinical Procedures, ECG and Essentials of Electrocardiography. This is my expertise area. Medical terminology online with the Elsevier, adapted learning for the language of medicine, understanding abnormal behavior, El Monto 21 Hispaniola loose leaf, history of dance, focus on personal finance, and an active approach to help you achieve finance literacy for dual enrollment courses for the 2023 to 2024 school year. This is my favorite one. So may I have a motion and second?
Motion.
Thank you. Any public comments?
Yes, we do. Alexia Brianis?
Hi, Alicia.
Hello, board. Welcome back. Thank you guys so much for all that you do. I wanted to ask if we've gone over this new textbook. If anybody, I know you guys, because the Brown Act, you guys can't respond, but my concern is that we're adopting this textbook material and we haven't really reviewed everything that it entails. So I've seen that it has gender disorders, sexual disorders, and stuff like that. I'm not sure I would want my minor learning about some of this stuff. I'm not sure if that's been discussed about this material that you guys are adopting, but I think that it deserves to be looked at a little further when it comes to curriculum and when it comes to educating our kids on certain things, especially topics that can be a little bit much for our youth. I think that it's something that we need to look into. I did just do a quick search on understanding abnormal behaviors, and I believe it's chapter 10 where it goes over sexual and gender disorders, and it kind of dives into some pretty graphic detail, and I don't know if parents would be okay with some of those topics. So that was all I wanted to say, but thank you guys so much.
Thank you for came over to share your thought. Now back to our table for discussion here, my board colleague. I have first one is board clerk, Mr. Nishii.
Thank you, Madam President. Yeah, so a couple of things. One is I read the one on the personal finance, and it's good that we're teaching about personal finance. I think that's a great thing, you know, how to save $500. Some of it's a little bit specific. You know, they relate you to specific web pages that may not exist. So I don't know how long we're planning to keep these books here. How long are we planning to keep these books? The one that has, yeah.
Per our CCAP agreement with Cerritos College and our dual enrollment program, the books that we adopt are for a 3-year cycle.
Okay, so then it's likely that these websites and specific, because very, very specific. It even has the tax forms that I could practically not hire my accountant and have them do it through the book. Have hired a high school student to do it, so that was good. And I liked the other one on the abnormal behavior. That's with a college class, though, correct? Or it's a high school with a college partnership, right?
Yes, this is part of our CCAP agreement. These are dual enrollment classes which students opt to take. Some of them are during the school day and some of them are after school setting.
So that'd be sophomore, junior, senior, or sophomore?
Typically, it's a junior, senior.
Junior, senior. So I read through that, and one of the funny ones was, should presidential candidates undergo psychiatric assessments? I think they're already crazy, but so the book does go through the gender dysphoria issues, and it's very specific. It's very clinical, so it doesn't go into the politics that could be out there. It just says, here are some of the issues that we have regarding mental health. It talks about suicide ideation. It's actually good in terms of, it goes into popular people that I didn't know were had any of these things, and so it's kind of interesting in that respect. So I kind of wish I could have had more time to read through it, but in terms of what I read, in terms of the medical terminology book, that was also pretty good, I think. very specific, a little boring. But
Medical.
if the kids want to take that kind of class, that's going to help them hopefully with their career. It was specific also with what a career would be like and what you would specifically undergo, the medical assisting particularly, the clinical procedures, useful books for practical world, and as far as I could tell, not highly political or they have to go through some of the specific details, but not to the extent where it's inappropriate, particularly for a junior or high school student that gets to select that class. They would know about this class. They know about this coming into the class, right?
Yeah, they have to fill out an enrollment form with Cerritos College, and the parents are part of that process in the enrollment form.
So the parents would know that they're taking an abnormal class, and the books are on
Correct.
display, correct?
Correct. The parents would know that they are signing up for this class, and that they would know that these would be the books approved for that class.
Okay, great. Actually, how do we publicize these books to the public? Do we like take a record of who's actually read through the books?
We take appointments during the allotted month that you see on the board item. We put advertisements in our local papers, as well as advertise it through our own community newsletters that we send out. And usually parents can make an appointment. Sometimes walk-ins are okay, but in order to get an expert available, we usually ask for appointments ahead of time.
Do we record who actually comes to see it so we have an idea whether we're successful in reaching the public?
We generally do have a sign-in sheet, yes.
Oh, great. Thank you.
That was a good question. Clerk Nishi is wonderful. Next one, we have a board member, Mr. Su. You?
Yes, thank you. So, in regards to the new books, is it mandatory to change the curriculum every so often?
So because these are college classes, per the way that colleges operate, the college professor gets to select the book. It's different than K-12, where we go through a process to select books, and we keep books for several years. In our agreement with Cerritos College, the district works with the college. The professor selects the book that they feel is best for their course. And then we work with the college to make sure that we're not having to buy new books for every single class every single year, so that the book can continue for 3 years. If there's a partnership effort to offset the costs, we can certainly look at that, but typically these books are about 3 years.
I see. So some of these books, seems like they have to be comply with the state standards. Is that why all these languages have to be in there?
They have
With
to
the gender
comply.
dysphoria and gender, dysfunction and all that.
So these books are technical books that are specific to career technical education pathways. And so some of the technical language you see on here is because we're working on implementing a medical assisting pathway, as well as mental health social services career pathway. And so that's why you see some of the books. Some of the other ones, like History of Dance or for the dual enrollment Spanish, those are separate. Those are some of the standalone, as well as personal finance. But the other ones are specifically in order for students to be part of the CTE pathway. If this is a career that they're interested in, they not only get elective credit for the high school, but they also get college credit. So when they finish their high school, they could possibly continue and already have college credits to continue on this pathway of choice for them.
Thank you.
Okay, anyone else? Well, thank you, Dr. Kess, for giving in-depth explanation to us and to the public. It's from the college level. So far, if none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
So
I will abstain.
okay, so there will be 5-1. Okay. Now I'm going down. May I have a motion to adopt Resolution 23-01 of the Governing Board of ABC Unified School District, approve assignment of delinquent tax receivable to the California statewide delinquent tax finance authority for the fiscal years ending June 30, 2023, 2024, and 2025, and authorizing execution and delivery of related document and actions. May I have a motion and second?
Motion approved, Eugenio.
Mr. Nguyen.
Thank you, Vice President Say. So we have done this once every 3 years since 2002, along with 92 other public agencies within the County of Los Angeles. And to keep it simple, what this allows the district to do is able to retain the penalty and interest and late payments from property owners who didn't pay their property tax bills on time. So without this resolution, the law says that the penalty and interest on late payments on property bills would go to the county. So this would allow the district to keep it. It's not a lot. It's about 25 to 30,000 a year. But by passing this resolution, there's that provision within the law that allows the district to keep it. So we have worked with the county since 2002, along with, like I said, 92 other public agencies. And since then, it's brought in about $700,000 for ABC in terms of interest and penalties payment from property owners.
Any public comment?
I don't see any.
Any discussion from my colleague here? No comments? Okay, so all those in favor, please say aye.
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 So motion passes 6-0. My motion to approve YMCA of Greater Long Beach to provide the expanded learning program at Comanita Middle School.
Motion approved, Eugenio.
Second, thank you. Any public comments?
I don't see any.
And I don't see, okay, we have one comment from our board, which is Dr. Eugenio.
Thank you, Madam President. I see some of the sources of funding include parent fees. How much would parents expect to pay for this program, should they have to pay?
So thank you for the questions. So the program is free to families who are English learners, low income and with foster youth. So we call those unduplicated count students. For those families who do not under that criteria, then they would have to pay. We were able actually to leverage it for this year, reduce the fee. I believe it's about $300 a month. But again, it depends on the number of hours that they use, whether they use the morning program and the afternoon, or is it just the afternoon? Is it the full 3 hours? So it's variation, but it's about $300 a month.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next to our board clerk, Mr. Nishii.
Thank you, Madam President. Two quick questions. One is regarding how do we select YMCA? Because we sometimes go between AYA and YMCA. Did anybody else bid on this particular contract?
So if you recall, in June, the board approved both contracts for the YMCA and AYA. So this is just an additional contract with the YMCA for this year. As demand increases, we will bring back throughout the year additional contracts with either agency. So staff work closely with them, and depends on the needs of the school and the requests, we would bring forward a recommendation, but we have worked closely with those two agencies.
So in this case, I guess YMCA won over AYA?
Correct.
In terms of the potential bid that they made on this particular project?
At Carmenita, yes.
Okay. Well, how are we going to measure the performance? And let's say, what is our measure for success?
So it would be two things, right? Enrollment, right? If a program success would say you have more enrollment and more families sign up for it. Also feedback from parents. We work closely with them to ensure that through the principals of the school, through the coordinator of the program, through the supervisor who runs the program, to get feedback from parents. But one of the key things is enrollment, because part of it is fee-based, and if you don't have a successful program, they don't come.
That's the marketplace of parental initiative. So
Yes.
that's a good way to make it measure. But is there any other, determining the cost effectiveness of the program? I know this is a continuing fund, but determining this is really effective versus something else, alternative analysis.
Yeah.
How are you going to, and then parents' desires is also really important, so I understand that it's going to be a high factor, but scores. I don't know how you could measure that with an after-school
Right.
program, but those who attended, those who did not, are we going to make any comparisons across?
So it's difficult because we don't know those who are not attending what they would do, alternatively. But we just want to have a vibrant program that meet all the state requirements in terms of enrichment, also tutoring for our students. But like I said, again, the key thing is enrollment because we watch that. Our goal is to provide, hopefully that anyone who's eligible would sign up for the program. But we do have survey and feedback every year from families.
So if it's possible, I'd like us to be thoughtful as to how we get the data as to what's means success and control out factors that there might be, like, for example, those who are participating in the program, those who don't. Maybe also we factor out whether they're doing outside tutoring or not. Just if we could just be cognizant and careful as to how we get the data so we know how to best spend our money, what little money we have. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Now, may I have all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
6-0 passes. May I have a motion to approve the renewal of agreement for legal services with the Orbach, Huff and Henderson LLP from August 1st, 2023 through June 30, 2026. Any public comments?
No, I don't see any.
Okay. Do we have any board discussions here? Seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
It passes 6-0. Wait, we're here, 8:20. No, don't jinx it. May I have a motion to approve a contract to Ever-Driven and First Student for smaller capacity vehicles transportation service on an as a needed base during the 2023 to 2024 school year with an option to renew for 4 additional years. Any public comments?
I don't see any.
Do we have any? Oh, we have one board member, Ms. Yu.
Oh, I just wanted to applaud the staff for coming up with such a brilliant alternative and a solution to the need of our district. So
Yeah.
thanks so much for thinking of the parents and the student safety and making it happen with a minimum cost.
It's because of shortage and they do really their best. And next one, I have our board clerk, Mr. Nishii.
Yeah, this is similar. Congratulations to staff for actually doing a good job in terms of answering my questions before the meeting and also getting good bids on these particular projects. It's important that we are wise with the dollars that we have. So thank you. Good job.
Yeah, we also appreciate our board here, try the best we can to bring the best benefit to our students and to our staff too. And once again, thank you for supporting it. So all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
No, we have, okay, 6-0. Now, next one's the information items. The quarterly Williams Settlement Compliance Report for April through June 2023. May I have Dr. Zillow, our superintendent?
Thank you. We received our quarterly report on the Williams Settlement Agreement and from the County of Los Angeles. And again, we had no complaints filed with any school in the district during the quarter from April 1st through June 30th. And so we had no issues with complaints or any of the materials, facilities, or vacancy or misassignments.
Thank you, Dr. Zillow. Now, back to our board member reports. Okay, gotta give me a chance to figure out who's what, okay? I have a board member, Dr. Eugenio.
Thank you,
You're
Madam
first
President.
today.
I just want to say congratulations to Mr. Noyola on your appointment to represent Hawaiian Gardens Trustee Area 7. Based on your professionalism, your presentation, your prior service to the district, and the community of Hawaiian Gardens, I believe we made the correct choice. Welcome on board, and I look forward to working alongside of you for the next year and a half.
Okay, next one will be our board member, Noyola.
Thank you. I just wanted to start by thanking everybody. This is my first meeting, so appreciate all the help. Dr. Zitlo, Danielle have been very helpful, catching me up to speed. I was also able to attend the summer graduation with Sophia. I was just going to be in attendance, but I forgot. Since I'm a school board member, I have to sit on stage now. I didn't bring my cap and gown, so I remember that next time. And I also did get to attend Jimmy Kim's Celebration of Life, and it was a great program. I actually got to sit next to one of Jimmy Kim's childhood friends, and he was sharing stories about how they would train together and how, they came together through martial arts. And To me, a martial arts is a part of my life, and also Dr. Eugenio, so we can both attest to how that brings people together. Oh, and as actually Ernie said, he does a little judo, so watch out.
I guess.
But it was a great program. The community came out together, and Jimmy Kim was, like we said, brought the entire community together because he was such a positive influence, always doing what was best for everyone else and putting them first. So I think he's a great role model for ourselves, our students, and everybody of how a community leader should be. So thank you.
Thank you for sharing. Next one will be our board member, Dr. Rios.
Thank you. A few things. One of them is that I wanted to invite my board colleagues to the CLSBA Unity Conference. As you know, I sit on the board of directors for that. And this particular conference is local. It's happening in Long Beach. It's the week of September 28th to October 1st. And I'm happy to say that we're presenting. ABC is going to be presenting, so I invite you to join us. But too, also, it's a great conference when we talk about a lot of the really important issues that affect not just Latino students who are the majority in this state, but all students. And I'm super excited to announce that Dolores Huerta is going to be speaking there. As you know, she's an icon in the struggle for social justice. And so I'm more than excited to see her. And again, I invite you. I think all you have to do is just let Danielle know that you're interested in attending, and she'll take care of that for you. And I notice our fellow trustee from Cerritos College, so please I extend that invite to Board Trustee Perez. The other thing that I wanted to do is just finish off by welcoming everyone to a brand new school year. I found myself a little giddy last week, you know, with the idea that here we go, another year, bring it on. But again, a special congrats to a new school year to our students, to our staff, of course, to our board members. It's like, here we go. Especially excited with our new board member joining us. But, you know, as well to our teachers, our families, and just everyone. Here's to the best year yet. Thank you.
Thank you. What date is? I'm sorry, Dr. Rios?
I can send you the
Can you send it to me? Thank you. If I can, I will try. Thank you. So next one will be our board clerk, Mr. Nishii.
Thank you, Madam President. I'll be quick because I'm going to be reading a long thing for my memorial. But
Okay.
so this is about voices, right? We have voices from different parts of the community.
Yes.
Having a voice from Hawaiian Gardens is very good. It's actually going to be enhancing our whole district. Having the CLSBA voice to go there, and that's going to be critical. My thing about voices is also the Tuna Canyon Detention Station, which I'm also part of. There's a scholarship that's available, so if kids want to earn money, good money, $500, could earn up to $1,500 if you have art, essay, or video, as to how you envision your role in ensuring that civil rights violations don't occur in the future, that the things that happen to certain people don't happen to others. What is your role in making sure that these good things don't happen? There's also a women's equality art contest, so if you'd like to do that, contact me. And today's the last day for that, though, so be very quick because you only have a few hours. Thank you, Madam President. That's it.
Thank you, Clerk Nishii. Thank you, Clerk Nishii. Next one will be our board member, Ms. Yu.
Thank you, VP Sophia Say. Just want to say welcome back to school. And I want to congratulate our new board member, Mr. Noyola. Yeah. We have a challenge ahead of us. Now I think that we're, third year back to school after the pandemic. And things, I mean, I want to applaud our ABC district for working together, just everybody, the cabinet, the leaders, the principals, the teachers, staff, the teacher union, everybody really worked together to get through the challenge really well. So, you know, pat everyone, you know, on your back. But we still do need to really work on education, academic, bring up the reading, the math, you know. So, I mean, this is a good year to do that. Good year coming back. Pandemic is over. So that's a lot of work ahead. And you know, having raised 4 daughters, I just also want to just share how the importance of parental authority and parental rights and parental responsibility is in this day and age, because our children are very vulnerable with a lot of influences from the social media. And it's not just up to the educators, but the parents are more responsible. And we have to work together to make sure that our children don't fall off the cliff. And in order to do that, we need to exercise authority, both at home and at school. And authority is not a bad thing, because without authority, freedom without responsibility is destruction. So I really hope that this new year, all of us can work together to really address the needs of our community. And of course, we know that there's really challenging problems that our youth are faced with. And I'm really glad to see some of the sports, and we're going to collaborate with strengthening our sports team, and the transportation has been provided. So really, kudos to that. Thank you so much. Have a great year, everybody.
Thank you, Ms. Yu. Next announcements. Our next regular board meeting, Tuesday, August 15, 2023 at 7 p.m. at District Office Boardroom. Committee meetings, school facility capacity and decline enrollment ad hoc committee will be on Wednesday, August 16, 2023 at 6 p.m. District Boardroom. Legislative Policy Board Advisory Committee will be Wednesday, August 30 at 6:30 p.m. District Conference Room. Now, the few things and dates of remember: first day of the school, starting on August 11, 2023, starting with the 7th graders only. And we have first day of school for all other grades, which is August 14, 2023. Now, I'll go into second public comment section. Clerk Nishi, do we have any?
Yes, we do. We have Mr. Eddie Salcido.
Go ahead, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Mr. Nishi. I wanted to clarify a couple things and add that I didn't have time in the first public comment. One of my daughters, we pulled out of this school district because we're so disappointed in the district. I have another daughter in this district, and this is about her. And Sue, you and I do not see eye to eye on a lot of different things, but thank you for your comments on parents being instrumental, and that's why I'm up here speaking. I do have another daughter in this district. This is about her. This is about every other student in this district. This is past, present, and future. Okay, it's very clear that this admissions policy has been misadministered for who knows how many years, and how many lives have been affected by it. Everyone knows, if you go to Whitney, you're probably going to get into a four-year university, considering it's a 100% graduation rate that goes to some qualified university. Okay, congratulations, Ms. Noyola, on your appointment. This affects you probably more than anyone. FEDI, just so you know, and you probably already know this, FEDI is 86% Hispanic. Okay, FEDI also lost 10 spots that should have come from FEDI. Those kids should have gone to Whitney. Because of the misinterpretation, the misallocation of spots, those kids are not there. That's 10 kids whose lives could be altered. And it's your responsibility now as a trustee of that area to look out for those kids. And I want to clarify, the school district is 45% Hispanic, 23% Asian. Whitney High School is 11.9% Hispanic, 61.5% Asian. Okay? That's one thing. Second thing, we talked about written policy. The California Education Code allows the district to write its own policy, which it does, 5118.3a, which clearly states that the allocation of spots will go to the 19 elementary schools in our school district. It's written. You can go look at our district right now. You know how many elementary schools we have? 20. So how can you have a policy that says clearly we have 19 elementary schools to allocate our spots, but yet somehow officially we have 20? Not somehow, we officially have 20, but then how do you implement a policy that doesn't reflect that? And finally, the policy also states 5118.3a, point 2 and point 3, that 10 spots are allotted to private school students who live in the ABC school district but don't go to ABC schools. 3 spots are allocated to employees, kids of employees, students. That's 13 spots. You know how many spots were used this year? 7. Which means that there's 6 extra spots that we have no idea. This is the official list, okay? Bragg, 14, Burbank, 5, Cerritos, 10, Leo, 27, Nixon, 8, Gonzalez, 17, Stowers, 10, Whitman, 14. This came from the district. So 13 spots, 7 are used. Where did the other 6 go? Well, we assume 2 of them went to the virtual school, so there's 4 more spots. Where did they go? How were they allocated? What's the process? We've asked for plenty of information. We have 2, 3 public requests in place. We intend to find out. This is not right. Everyone up here knows that. Everyone in the staff knows that. There's no way this can go into 2024-25 under the same policy. This is about our students. So if everything that we're talking about, social justice and all of these other things, parental rights, then we need to find out what is going on here. Because someone just give me the basic answer. Where did those 4 extra spots go? Where did they go? Okay, and how many lives could have been altered had that kid from Willow or Kennedy or Fetty or Ross, had they been admitted to Whitney High School? How would the life have changed? You know some of those kids are struggling. And some of our higher performers have a lot of resources. And if they deserve to get in, they should get in. We're not trying to take away what's rightfully anyone's. We're just trying to point out that there are students who have a rightful place that has been robbed. And their lives have been altered. And the financial liabilities of this district, who knows? Because if I was a parent and my kid didn't get in and should have got in and went down the wrong path and could have gone to university, and the financial implications of that, think about that. You've done that to hundreds, if not thousands of students. So this is about the kids. This isn't about U.S. News rankings. This isn't about reputation. This is about opportunity for kids. I know you can't do anything right now, but I hope you do the right thing and you review this policy. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Saucedo, and came over and share your personal experience. Next one's adjournment today.
Actually, we have one more.
one more. I'm
Catherine
sorry. Go ahead.
Pasquale.
Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
Good evening, school board members and Superintendent Dr. Zitlo. First, I want to talk as a parent. My twin boys got into ABCUSD for the last couple weeks of the school year, and the stress on my family was so much less once they got in, once we had after school care. So I applaud you for trying to expand the program, and I know the waiting lists were very long last year, so if there's anything that you guys can do to increase capacity, I know it's hard to find people to work for a random afternoon set of hours, but it was very helpful. My kids really enjoyed it. It was the end of the school year, so they didn't really do homework and stuff there, but they were happy to be there with their friends. I know they were very upset when Daddy picked them up early and they wanted to stay longer. So thank you for expanding that, and I would suggest if the wait lists are long again this year, try to increase that capacity when you can, because it really made a big difference once we were off of that wait list. Unfortunately, my husband's work schedule changed in January, and then we were stuck with this awkward situation. So thank you for that. I would also recommend when you are surveying parents for ABCUSD that you maybe ask a question on the survey if they are a fee family or a no fee family. Just because I think that you might see some different results by separating out that data based on what some people expect and conversations I've had with other parents in the district. The second thing I wanted to talk about tonight is these teacher retro checks. So I don't know if you guys are aware, but yesterday we got an email that we would get our retro checks by August 31st. So that's great that we finally have a definitive date, and that is technically seasonally the summer. Why do I say it's the summer? Why does that matter? Well, in February, I could find 3 times documented that we were told we were going to get these retro checks in the summer. And in March, I found 1, and in April, I found 2, and in May, I found 1. And all this time, we're being told summer, 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 summer. It's coming in the summer. So what happens? So I get my tax return, and instead of saving it for my August 1st paycheck, because we didn't get paid today, I paid off some debt and I paid a bill because we were told, hey, in the summer you're going to get that retro check. And I calculated how much it should be and, assumed a bunch would be taken for taxes and, had a good idea of where I'd be. The single mom who's taught summer school every summer, and this summer we have a short summer, she decided not to apply for summer school. And then the retro checks, we were told June 2nd, we'll know the timeline by the end of school. We were told June 9th, we'll know more by August. And now that mom is worried about how she's going to pay her bills in August. I had a teacher tell me that they were planning to use that retro check to help them pay their child's fall tuition. I had people who were planning to use that money to pay for trips that they had planned once they were told summer. So are we going to figure it out? Absolutely. We're going to all figure it out. We're going to do what we need to do to get through this month. And I just, in the future, want the district to really remember that people make decisions on what they do with their finances based on the information that they have. And in a teacher's brain, summer is before we come back to school, before that school year starts. And so summer, I feel August 31st, okay, seasonally summer. But some messages I've been getting yesterday and today have shown that they're like, no, it's not before the start of the school year. They still don't think that's summer. So I do understand that there were staffing issues, there were issues with LACO. I know that you guys ramped up staffing, and I know that the district pushed to get things moved faster, and that August 31st is better than what we were expecting a couple months ago, and so thank you for that. I just, in the future, from February to May, we were told summer, 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 summer. Then in June, we were told, we don't know, we'll tell you more in August. That was a really stressful time. That June and July of some people had pits in their stomachs not knowing how they were going to pay those bills this month. So I just want you guys to really keep in mind in the future what you promise employees. And I know other labor groups had really long retro timelines as well. So we've got to do something about that. All right, thank you.
Any more? Clerk Nishi?
That's the last one.
Thank you. Now, may I have a motion to adjourn in the memory of former ABC Unified School Board member, Ms. Marilyn Rubio. Ms. Rubio's term as a board member was from 1998 to 2001. We are deeply saddened to hear the news of Ms. Rubio's passing. Board Clerk Nishi,
Yes.
would you like to
So-
share the second one?
And I'll have a second one. Mine's going to be a little bit longer, so that's please indulge me, because I definitely respect Ms. Rubio as a board member. I remember she lived pretty close by. Mr. Robert Moriguchi was 91 years old, and in my mind, he was a hero for wanting to change this world at the age of 91. He volunteered with this thing called the Day of Remembrance, where he relayed the experience that he had during World War II to the high school students, to the middle school students, and to all the students that we have in ABC. And he wanted to make sure that what happened to him didn't happen to other people. So in memory of him, I'm going to quickly try to do as fast as I can what he would have read. And he would have said he was 91 years old, former incarceree of one of America's concentration camps, and he was a fifth grader at Raphael Wheel Elementary in San Francisco when the war began. And before he would want to begin his experience about World War II, he talked about the trauma his family experienced from before EO 9066, which ended up throwing a lot of people in jail for no particular reason except that they were Japanese. First, the Japanese community was under curfew, which means they had to be in their home by 8 p.m. and could not leave before 6 a.m. They were secondly bound in an area approximately 5-mile radius, but that radius happened to be 2 blocks away from his home, so he couldn't visit his cousin who lived across the way. Many Japanese Americans were fired from their jobs, and my grandmother, day one of the war, lost her husband and couldn't speak a word of English, and all of her money was frozen. Immediately after after Pearl Harbor, the FBI began arresting the community leaders, and this added more trauma to the community. It was a time of trauma, shock, confusion, fear, and anxiety. Shortly after, FDR issued this executive order, which exists today. The president could do this again, and there has been a president who said that they would do this again. In June 1942, they boarded a train to Woodland. They ended up in the Merced Fairgrounds. Luckily, they didn't end up in the stables. He remembers the address, and he remembers it was surrounded by vineyards. And then they were ordered again to another train, destination unknown, and they kept the blinds down whenever they passed another train. And it was first fun because he was a really young kid, and it was an adventure, but the train was old, and the seats were uncomfortable, and of course, no air conditioning, and they're going to the desert. The military that escorted them stopped and let them go outside and stretch, exercise, and get some fresh air. But the air was hot. And when he got off the train, he noticed that the train was surrounded by machine guns and guards. And what do you think went through his mind, a 5-year-old kid? He thought the soldiers were going to kill them out in the desert, and no one would know. That didn't happen, and they were put back on the train, and they went to Colorado, near the town of Granada, population about 500. Don't forget, he was in San Francisco, pretty busy, big area, so he went to 500. He had one room, 20 by 20, 6 rooms to a barracks, and 2 of his relatives occupied 2 rooms in the other side of the barracks. So imagine yourself being in that situation. He was 5 years old. As a child, he was able to adapt to the harsh conditions they were subjected to, and the older teenagers would have known about the injustices, but they didn't complain. 6th grade teacher was Mr. Cochran, a sympathetic Quaker who volunteered to come and live in the camp and teach. And this is one of the few groups that actually stood out and fought about the situation. They said, this is wrong, but there weren't enough Quakers then. Our classroom was one room with a barracks, no desks, no benches. So imagine an ABC school without any desks. They didn't have a blackboard, textbooks, or anything a normal school would have. One thing everybody complained about was a lack of privacy, and we'll skip through that section. The mess hall was a large room with many tables, benches, like picnic tables, and the kids ate with their friends. They didn't eat with their families. So as all of us get to sit with their mom, dad, and friends and their family, they didn't get to do that, and it destroyed family. So you talk about a family unit being destroyed. And this also happens in the United States. I'm going to come back to this, though, because I think this is also a good thing, too. They were forced in the Amachi concentration camp, and they weren't used to this. It was icicles in the winter, and summers were 100 degrees. And he said in conclusion that this injustice that happened to American citizens, not protected even by the rights guaranteed in the Constitution, and it could happen again, unless we all protect and support each other. And that's why we have this Day of Remembrance, to teach what happened so it will not happen again to anyone. What's great about this country is that he lives to tell the tale. He lives to talk about it to other people, and so that, yes, we can learn, and yes, we can improve, and yes, even though we have a lot of faults, one of the great things about our country is that we learn from these things, and we endeavor to do better. And so, in memory of Mr. Moriguchi, who doesn't let the past just be the past, but he lets the past inform our future, I'd like to close that portion.
Thank you, Clerk Ms. Nishii. Our condolences to the family. Please keep Ms. Rubio and Mr. Moriguchi's family in your prayer and thoughts. Thank you. So now may I have a motion and second to close tonight's adjourned meeting? Okay, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All in favor, 6-0. Thank you. Meeting adjourned.